going live day 7. And today, my prompt is to go live and share about something that I often keep to myself. So, hopefully, this is a juicy one for you guys. So, something that very few people know is that a month before my intended wedding date, which was going to be 11/11/23, 2023, I invested in a dating and relationship coach, someone who is an expert in supporting women through the dating process. And originally, I made this decision because I was still trying to win back my ex fiance and trying to get his attention and trying to get him back in my life. And so that was my original goal. And when I got on the very first call with the coaches, they had the wisdom to tell me immediately that he wasn't coming back and I really needed to self focus and really get clarity on what I was looking for and what was going on with me versus focusing on this man. And of course, it was very painful at the time that I was a month out from the wedding date and we had broken up a few months earlier. And I still was, madly, desperately in love with him and wanted him to come back into my life, despite that he wasn't responding to any of the communication I was putting out there. So I wanted to talk about my original goal versus my results. And so the original goal was get back my ex. And the results I actually received and benefited from in this program is that I learned a whole lot about masculine and feminine energies. I learned how to manage my triggers and my emotional responses that I had not been managing well in that past relationship and in other past relationships, both romantic and platonic. And I learned about like wounded versus empowered energies and how there's makes such a big difference in how you're showing up in your both personal and business relationships if you're showing up in wounded energy versus empowered energy, and how each one of those will play out with the results you're getting in those relationships. So I personally kind of took a leap of faith back then. It was October 2023 that I found my coach. Her name is Sami Wunder, and she is an internationally renowned dating coach and relationship coach. She has two separate programs. One is for single women and one is for women in relationships. And she has different content geared toward those two different groups. So if you're in a relationship, she has fabulous support and content for you, as well as if you're a single woman who is looking to cultivate a deep, long-lasting love in your life. So even though I signed up for the program with like a very clear goal of like hoping to get my ex back, what I actually got out of the first 6 months of the program, and it is a 6-month program container with like group coaching, and she's got several other coaches in addition to the main coach, Sami. So I got a ton of support, daily support. There's a Facebook group filled with other women in the singles group who we're constantly sharing our stories and our experiences. And so you get a lot of support from the other women, but also the coaches are in the group every day, guiding us, answering questions, really helping us with specific things we were going through in our own lives as we were dating. So I did end up going on 3 different dating apps and I started dating, and it was really awkward at the beginning. And Sammy has this phrase that dating is healing. And when you have a broken heart and all you want is your ex to come back, it's really hard to embrace going on new dates with people and putting yourself out there and being vulnerable. But what I can absolutely testify to now that I've gone through this, and I ended up actually being in the program for a full 12 months, is that the practice of going on dates is truly empowering. And you learn so much about yourself and so much about men as you go out with different men and meet different men. And I really did grow a lot from the experience, and I did learn so much about myself. And in the teachings of feminine energy and feminine embodiment, I was able to get clear on the fact that as a business owner, that I did a lot of things from my masculine, and men and women, we both have masculine and feminine energies, and we use them both at different times. But I leaned so heavily into masculine energy because I was used to running a business and like going for the sale and putting it out there and going and getting it versus trusting, intuition, leaning back, and receiving, which is more the feminine. So for me personally, I kind of like needed that information. I needed to have that sense of awareness of masculine energy and masculine behaviors that was, appropriate for me to use in my business, but then were not playing out and giving me the results I wanted in relationships or dating. So for me personally, I really benefited from the coaching and education around masculine and feminine energies, and also, again, the wounded and the empowered energies, and how we can show up as our empowered, divine feminine energy and really truly sink back and be really attractive and really self loving and really trusting and intuitive, both in dating and in business and in just other personal relationships. So it was really eye opening, the first 6 months of the program. And, the coaches talk a lot about investing in yourself, your self care, your daily happiness, making sure you're getting rest and you're doing fitness and that you're dressing in a way that makes you feel good and feel happy and feel beautiful and feel successful, and to, step into embodying the life that you want to live and the woman that you want to be. So we all have a past and we all have pain and we all have trauma and we all have heartache that we want to overcome. But when you consistently show up every day with an attitude of gratitude, and that you're going to love this day and you're going to start your day with your gratitude list and you're going to wear an outfit that makes you feel really good. For me personally, I ended up choosing to get my nails done consistently throughout the year. And I really love the feminine way I feel with these nails. And also, it actually helped me stop biting my nails after like my entire life. So now I've got, fun feminine nails. Side note, men on dates love the nails. So that was just kind of a funny thing that I realized is like men really like those details. Like when you show up in a dress with your hair done, you got your nails done, and you're fun and you're present and you're just leaning back. Like the men really appreciate that actually. And I did go on over 160 dates in a year, over a year, and like 61st dates. I had a couple mini relationships, and I learned a lot from that process. So, you know, focusing on your energy every day, doing your self care, you know, thinking about who you want to be in that moment and getting out of those victim voices, and also having a mindset and a positive attitude around just men. If you've been really hurt by a man, and I was very hurt by my ex fiance and the way that we ended up not getting married, it was that's another story. But I was quite hurt and I didn't really trust men and I wasn't excited about dating. But ultimately, it's been really life changing actually to have been in this program and had the support and gone on dates and stepped back into my power as a woman who has a strong sense of self worth and a strong um, awareness of who I am, what I deserve, what I desire, what I'm attracting and calling in, and being really clear about that for myself. And then, just learning and growing through the process. Like a year ago, my business was really struggling. I wasn't calling in leads effortlessly. I wasn't really embodying feminine energy. I wasn't trusting. I was really struggling. Fast forward, it's month 3 of 2025, and my business is bringing in leads effortlessly. Things have really shifted. And it's truly that I'm happier. I'm happier. I'm grounded. I have a much deeper sense of trust in myself and trust in the world, and trust that all good things are flowing to me and that there's always more money. And it's the trust alone, I think, is a significant um, shift that I personally have experienced, and can attribute in a great deal to this coaching. So, personally, how this program changed my life, um, I am I went from at the beginning of the dating process to just, picking nice, interesting men to meet, but ultimately most of them were emotionally unavailable men, which I finally had an epiphany sometime in the middle of last year that I was emotionally unavailable. And yet I was trying to call in, a life partner or a long term partner, someone who could really show up for me and be there for me. And I wasn't emotionally available. So, fast forward a little bit, something else to share that I don't often share with people is that I had smoked cannabis for 23 years. I was a heavy cannabis user and I had a medical card, so it was legal for me to use. And I used it for everything, all day, every day. And the cannabis really was part of me not being connected to my emotions. And I was truly emotionally unavailable, but I was projecting onto my ex, onto my dad, onto all these new men in my life that they're not emotionally available. And then finally I realized, oh, I'm attracting them because I'm not emotionally available. So in the process, it'll be 10 months ago tomorrow. It's my 10th anniversary tomorrow. I quit smoking cannabis. And I did that partially because I wanted to be emotionally available to myself, and I wanted to call in and cultivate and attract a man who's emotionally available. So this was a huge breakthrough for me that I really don't know that I would have I'm sure I would not have come to that conclusion without the coaching from Sami and her team. And I'm so thrilled that, I'm already 10 months into my sobriety, and it's been absolutely fantastic. There's so many other benefits to that as well. But the real reason I decided to give up to give up the cannabis was to explore, could I really get different results? Could I now call in and attract a man and a partner and even more friends who are emotionally available? And I absolutely am having that experience both in my female friendships and with men that I've dated in the last few months. So that's like really great results personally. Just really finally showing up for myself in that way and feeling my feelings and having awareness of my feelings and managing my emotions and doing really excellent self care for the last 10 months, where I'm really, really aware of situations that might make me triggered or upset or volatile or, embodying behavior that is not behavior that I want to be expressing. So I've had so much growth, and like, I mean, between the results in my business, the results in my dating experience, and just truly the way that I feel, right? I don't feel like a victim anymore. I don't have this victim mindset. And even in the shift of, like I actually honestly hear so many women out there talking about that dating sucks and men suck and men are all this and like all these beliefs that are super negative about men. And if you're single and you want a good partner, you got to believe that there's good men out there. And one of the other beautiful tips from the coaches is to look around you and see women getting married and women having babies and women getting engaged, and knowing that those women are attracting good men, which means there's good men out there, right? So there's, instead of focusing on, you know, things are shitty and there's no good men, if you flip the script and look for evidence all around you that there's good men out there, because literally, I don't know about you, but in my life, there are constantly women in my life getting engaged, getting married, getting pregnant, and celebrating this beautiful love and connection as well as long-term love. I have quite a few women in my life who've been in very long-term marriages and relationships, and they're thriving and satisfied and happy and grateful because they have a good match and they have done what's necessary to maintain these relationships for over the time. So, Sami and her team are currently enrolling for their next 6 month segment of group coaching for singles and women in relationships. And it is a significant investment. It is not going to be for everybody, But if you are someone who resonates with some of the things I've shared in this video and you're looking for a shift in your own energy, you're looking for a shift in your dating life, you're ready to call in the love of your life, they are particularly good at supporting women who are looking for long-term relationships, who want to get married. They have a ton of success stories with women who have gone through these transformations and embodiment and then attracted their soul partner. I mean, you don't have to use that language, but attracted their life partner, gotten engaged, gotten married, gotten pregnant, all ages, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, you know, they just are absolutely fantastic. The support level is amazing. They have, again, singles and relationship tracks, so totally different calls. They have a live call pretty much every weekend, I think. And then there's online curriculum that you go through on your own, and then you can check in with the coaches in the Facebook group about the curriculum. So they have video training, audio trainings, live calls, Facebook support group, 6-month program. So I do recommend you check it out. Even if you don't get into the program, follow Sami on YouTube or follow her Instagram. She's hilarious and lovely. You know, she's built an amazing business supporting women through this experience. You know, none of us got taught this stuff when we were kids or teenagers or in our 20s. Like, we didn't necessarily have good role models for this. I'm a child of divorced parents, you know, and like, I don't know that my mom and I've ever talked about, you know, feminine energy or embodiment, and that's okay. Like, no worries on that. But if you're someone who can afford the investment and you're ready to make the investment, check out the links below. I am an affiliate of Sami's, and so I would love for you to use my links to sign up. If you're going to sign up for the program, that would be amazing. And if you have any questions about it at all, let me know. I did 2 rounds. Her program's called Elevate, and that is because you are going through a process of elevating your energy, elevating your spirit, you know, elevating your intentions, and ultimately coming out of the program as a woman who is really stoked on life and herself and this experience, and dating is fun. Like, of these 160 plus dates I've been on, like 99% of them were really fun and amazing, and I met great men and I had fun dates, and I've been enjoying receiving and being spoiled and being treated well, and it's actually been really life changing. And I'm not trying to get my ex fiance back anymore. You know, what I really just want to do is wake up every day with gratitude in my heart, loving myself, loving my life, and I truly feel that way. And I see that play out in the law of attraction, where the results in my business, the results in my social life, the results in just other areas of abundance and feeling good. Like, I just feel good. I genuinely feel good. And that's a gift that I would wish for you as well. So, you know, this may not be the right fit for you, and that's all good too. But if you want to get free Sami content, hit her up on YouTube, hit her up on Instagram. And if you're ready to dive into Elevate, use my links below. And again, if you have any questions, please let me know. So today was day 7, sharing about something that I often keep to myself, and that's that I went through 12 months of relationship coaching with Sami Wunder and her team, and I have 0 regrets. It's probably the best investment I've ever made. Again, particularly because, you know, I really learned to connect to my feelings, and learned that, you know, my anger and my negative, quote unquote, negative feelings that had come up in the past, they were trying to teach me things. And there was lessons in those triggers. And I had done a ton of therapy around my triggers and my anger and my behavior, and none of the therapy got me to the peace and understanding and progress that I got with Sami's program. So she's amazing, totally amazing. I totally recommend her. And again, if you have any questions, let me know. I hope you have a beautiful day. Aloha.